Guys, I'm so mad right now because I just went live on Instagram with Rafael. So I was so excited to upload this episode for the podcast, but I have the audio from my phone, the audio coming from my phone, and also from my computer. So the audio sucks. There's no way I'm going to upload something like that. So I'll try to do better next time. So what I want to do now, I'm going to go through the questions that we were answering on that live. Obviously, you're only going to hear my opinion. But next time, I promise I will do a better job. Okay, question number 1 that you guys asked us on Instagram. What's the difference between compound and isolation exercises, and how should I incorporate them into my workouts? Great question. So compound, just how the name says, compound sounds more complex. It involves more muscle groups when you perform that movement. For example, when you do a squats, you are using your quadriceps, you are using your hamstrings, your calf muscles, your core to help you do that movement, which is why it's more complex. It requires more energy, and you're also able to lift heavier weights because there are more muscle groups involved. On the other hand, isolation movement isolate the muscle. So obviously there's only one muscle group involved. For example, when you do leg extensions, it's mainly targeting your quadriceps. When you do hamstring curls, it's mainly targeting your hamstrings. When you do calf raises, it's mainly targeting your calves. So with isolation, because there's only one muscle group involved, you are not able to go too heavy. So the way I will incorporate them into my workout, I will always suggest doing the compound movements first because you want to lift heavier with those exercises, and then have your isolations at the end. But at the same time, you can also mix it around. Like the way I like to do it, let's say for if you're doing quadriceps and glutes or leg day, I like to start with an isolation movement just for an extra warm up. So if it's leg day, I will start with leg extensions so I can really warm on my legs, warm on my quads. So then I can jump onto my second exercise, which is usually the squats, which requires more energy. That's why you can do it. Another way is just to start with the compound movements straight away. So you will do a squats, followed by leg press, followed by lunges, and then leg extension. So then the isolation. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay, next one. How do you handle stress and emotional eating? Another great question for today. I think something that I always say is that we first need to find out what is triggering you to feel stressed. Like, what's the actual problem? Why are you feeling stressed? Are you only feeling stress? Are you feeling something else? Maybe you're upset, maybe you're angry. If you don't know exactly what's happening, what's going on, or what is causing you to feel this way, how are you going to solve the issue? Because the first thing that we normally do is just go and have ice cream or go and have cookies, whatever it is that you like. But eating those things is not going to solve the issue. Yes, it's going to make you feel better at the time when you eat them, but that's not everything. So always find out, be aware of the problem, and then find a solution for the actual problem. Try not to rely on food to make you feel happy. Something that I was reading the other day is that if you're someone who eats something when you feel stressed, you like that thing or you like that habit because you feel better, obviously. But the reason why you feel better is because when you're stressed and when you're overthinking, your brain is taking most of your energy just thinking. But the moment that you eat something, your body requires some energy to digest the food that you just ate. So the ice cream that you just ate, the chocolate you just ate, which is why you feel better, because your body now is not taking most of the energy. It's mainly your stomach digesting, breaking down the food. So you feel more relaxed, you feel more calm. But maybe a few hours later, again, you have those emotions again because your brain, once again, is taking all of that energy. Try to find the solution first. Try not to rely on food. There's so many things you can do. Talk to someone if you have to. Go for a walk. Get your mind clear. Like, don't just sit there and overthink because that's not going to help you at all. Okay, next question. What are the potential benefits and risks of using supplements such as creatine, protein powder, pre-workout, and branched-chain amino acids? I personally think there are not too many risks. I think the only risk that there can be is that maybe you are spending way too much money. Other than that, there's not really health issues that can be involved. The only supplement from the ones that I just mentioned, the only one that I will be careful with is pre-workout, because some people can abuse of the pre-workout. Some people, I know they take 2 servings instead of 1 just serving on a daily basis. And obviously that can be very unhealthy because a supplement like a pre-workout has not just caffeine, but it has different ingredients that if you take high amounts, is it gonna do something to you long term? Probably yes. So just be careful with how much you take. And also, you don't want to be relying just on pre-workout to give you the energy. This is why you have to focus on getting a healthy diet, focus on your nutrition first before you worry about getting all your nutrients from the supplements. And also, if you are spending too much money on supplements, that's money that you can pay to a coach. That's money that you can invest in maybe quality food. So think wisely before you do those things. Things like creatine, protein powder, aminos, I think they are great. I always recommend them. I take them myself. They help you with your recovery. Creatine helps you with your strength. So in my personal opinion, I don't think that there's anything wrong with those supplements. As always, do it in moderation. Don't abuse of anything. Okay, next question. What time of the day do you prefer to work out? So me, I like to work out in the mornings just because I can get it out of the way. Also because the gyms are not too busy. The time I go is around 7 a.m. The peak hour, it's around 5 and 7 a.m. So when I go, it starts to get quiet. I like that. The only thing, there can be traffic sometimes going to the gym, but it's not such a big deal. Sometimes I've tried going around 1 p.m., 5 p.m., but the gym just gets way too busy and that really drives me crazy. There's nothing more annoying than going to the gym and having to wait for the machines. That's one thing that I really, 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 really hate. So if I can avoid it, I'm going to avoid it 100%. Okay, next questions. What are the best methods for tracking fitness progress beyond just body weight? I like this question because I feel like sometimes we can just measure our progress just by looking at the scale, just by looking at how many kgs we have lost or we have gained if your goal is to gain muscle mass. But I think that can be one tool that can be a little bit misleading, and also it can make you feel very upset if you don't see those numbers dropping, which is why it can play with your mind, maybe make you stop, make you give up. And what's the point? I personally don't like to use the scales too much just to track your progress because to me, numbers are just numbers. Yes, they can be useful, of course, but they are not everything. Other ways that you can track your progress, and I think better ways that you can track your progress, is by taking pictures. Pictures are probably the best thing you can do because you can clearly see on the pictures if you are losing weight or if you are gaining muscle mass. The second way I like to track progress is with your clothes. Is your clothes getting loose? Is it fitting better? Are you feeling better? Are you looking better? Like when you see yourself in the mirror, do you like the way you see yourself? Do you like the way your clothes is fitting? And also another way to track your progress, it's not just the physical progress that you are making, but also your mindset. Are you changing your habits? Are you creating new habits? Are you able to stick to your routine? Are you happy with the lifestyle that you are giving yourself? I'm not thinking about materialistic things, but the things that you are doing for yourself, for your health, with your training, with your nutrition. If you are, I think that's a huge progress on its own. And also the little changes that you're making on a daily basis, that's also progress. So remember, progress is not just physical, but also with the mindset. Okay, next question is, what are the best times to eat my meals? Great question. Again, I feel like all of these questions are great, guys. There are honestly not specific times or best times to eat your meals. Let's say if a trainer, or me as your trainer, if I tell you, you have to eat your first meal at 6 a.m., you have to eat your second meal at 10 a.m., your third meal at 3 p.m., whatever time. Is that going to be realistic for you? I don't think so. Is that going to work with your lifestyle? I don't think so. So I will never tell someone you have to eat at this time because you have to make it work for your schedule. You have to make it work for your lifestyle. You know yourself better than me, so you make it work for you. The times don't matter at all, but some things I always suggest my clients is just to find something and stick to that something so they can build a routine. So if you know that it works for you having breakfast at, let's say, 8 a.m. and then morning tea at 12, your lunch at 2 p.m., whatever the times work for you, just try to have your meals at the same time every day. Again, just to build a routine, nothing else. If you're eating at the same time, doesn't mean you're going to lose weight faster. It's just to have a routine. Same with your workouts. Once you find the times that work for you, I always suggest sticking to those times and days on a weekly basis because that will help you have that routine. Obviously, there are going to be times that you're going to have to change that routine, and that's okay because life happens. Life can get a little bit crazy sometimes. But if you can find something that works for you, stick to that 100%. Build that routine, and this is honestly gonna become a lifestyle for you. Okay, next question. How can I calculate my daily caloric needs and micronutrient ratios? Daily caloric needs, you will need to do a calculation, which you can do it by going to my page on Instagram, click on the link, and I have a calorie calculator to tell you exactly how many calories you should be eating for maintenance, to lose weight, or to gain muscle mass. Once you have that, you want to break that ratio into protein, fats, and carbs. But something I will suggest before I mention anything is sometimes I feel like people can get too obsessed with the numbers. Just like the numbers on a scale, I feel like people can get a little bit too obsessed with the macros. They can get too obsessed with like, I have to have 120 grams of protein a day. I need to have 60 grams of fats, 200 grams of carbs, whatever the numbers are. Again, numbers are just numbers. Like, the main thing that you want or that you should be concerned about is sticking to something and making sure that you're consistent with that thing on a daily basis. I don't know why we are so worried about those numbers. But with the macro breakdown, roughly you want to be eating 40 to 60% carbs, 20 to 30% fats, and 10 to 35% protein. But this is just a very rough estimate. That's more like a general thing for everyone. It's not for you. So it's more like a general. So don't take that advice just from this. If you want to know the exact numbers, please ask me, reach out, or go to my page on Instagram. Those are all the questions for today. If you guys have any more questions that you want to ask me, please do so on my Instagram. Please send me a DM or WhatsApp me, whatever is easier for you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to teach you. I'm here to share my knowledge with you. Remember that there's so much information right now on the internet. Too much that can be a little bit, I think it can get a little bit overwhelming, and there's so much information that is not true. So don't believe everything that you see, and don't believe everything that you read. I hope those questions and my answers were helpful for you guys. If there's anything else you want to ask me, once again, please reach out. If you like this episode, please share this on your social media and tag me at Daniela Del Carpio. Until next time, and as I always say, don't ever stop believing in yourself. Ciao.